What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment, and today we have the honor and privilege of being joined by Smif-N-Wessun. Steel Tech, thanks for coming through.
Absolutely, thanks for having us.
Salute, thanks for having us.
You got the new project coming out, Infinity. You guys are on a nationwide, international, all kinds of tours going on. So, given that the All was the last album, what is making Infinity the right time to come back with right now?
Man, when we put the All out?
2019?
19. It's God's timing. That's the perfect timing. And 2019 was right before the pandemic hit. Went through a lot, experienced a lot of things never saw before. And now that we're here back out moving around, I think it's time. It's definitely time for some new experiences, new music.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is, Infinity is all with Ninth Wonder and Soul Council?
Yes.
So how and why did you decide to go that route for production?
I think we got one or two from everybody that's over there. We got a Notch joint. We got a Cash joint. We got, of course, our boy Crisis. We got E. Jones.
Yeah.
I think we covered all the bases.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, man, it's like we always working, right? So from the All, you might not see us doing like physical projects. We've had like solo projects and features and things of that nature and other endeavors. But I think what spawned this was like Drew High and Knife Wonder seeing each other in Manhattan one day. And like, yo, we might as well, because Knife always was like, yo, we ready to do part 2. He was always saying that. It's like no timing. So it was like, all right, well, why these guys? These guys was right there, and we just had a great experience with them. And I think we both was ready to get out of New York City for a little while. And it was like, that's like a home away from home.
North Carolina?
Yeah, so it was easy, it was simple. It's not that we took the easy way route, but it was just there. And the guys was ready, so it's good to go where you welcome at. You know what I mean? We needed that vibe, we needed that break. And we've been working on it for a while, because this is like, I think I went there, it was like I was celebrating my birthday when we got there, so I was like incredibly wasted. And Rod Digger was in the studio, D.O.C was in the studio, so it was like leaving New York to go to New York. You know what I mean? And the vibe was so crazy. And then you get in that soul, so it was rejuvenating for us. And I'm not sure if we had the title. I'm pretty much sure we didn't have the title of the album. So it wasn't like we sat for years, over those years, and was like, yo, you know what, we gotta come with an album, man, and then call it this. Like Tech said, that's like the God speed, God timing, and we just was lined up for it. And it's like, we give thanks for that, because sometimes things seem to dry up. Nobody's doing anything, and everybody's kind of bitter. You celebrate 50 years of hip hop, like, what's going on? Like, we were actually sitting back creating something that we think you will enjoy.
And it felt, not to cut you off, it felt like we was recording, to me, almost in D&D again, the family vibe, the camaraderie of it. Yeah. It felt like we was going back to the essence of when we started recording The Shining and everything, and that's due to them and the way they opened their doors and arms to us and accepted us in since we did the three-headed monster with Buck, rest in peace, our brother Sean Price, and the Smif-N-Wessun joint.
And with that being said, I think your guys' album titles mentioned The Shining, The All, you got Monumental. Your guys' album titles throughout the early stages of your career and even till today are so short but very powerful. So have you noticed, or why, has this always been something you thought about from the beginning of your career?
Absolutely, absolutely. We've definitely been conscious of that, the word becomes flesh. Like, when we say it, we stamp it. We knew we had to come with an anthem. We sat with that. But before we came up with that, we had other things. So once we felt it out, and we was like, all right, this is what we live in. This is the 360. We doing figure 8s through our lives, like trying to figure it out. And then when you figure it out, you come to that crossroad where you meet again and you see yourself. You go, do I like what I see? I can still make some adjustments, so let's keep on skating through, you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, it's kind of fun now. It's tough. But yeah, we want you to know that we mean this. We want you to know that rude awakening, we meant that. You know, it was definitely a rude awakening. We definitely met Smif-N-Wessun Reloaded because we was going through so much. It's like, oh, can we use this? Should we use it? Why should we? Yo, we sitting there and we know we have to make a statement with the platform that we have. So, yeah, Infinity is definitely a statement, you know.
And something else too, I've noticed the progression of your guys' music. Obviously, sonically starting out extremely heavy, sample driven, and with the reggae influence and all that other stuff. But as you've evolved, I'd say lyrically, I wanted you to get into doing the more reflective spiritual side. I think it's come more from the gunplay of The Shining into more of the actual spiritual, you know, believing in yourself, doing the right things. I think it's more and more, I think every album is more pronounced of that. So is that also just life? Is that intentional? Is that happenstance?
It's life, man. I mean, you go back to The Shining and we had songs like Stand Strong. You know what I'm saying? It had songs like Hallucination. Like, we're talking about being intoxicated, but then there's so much going on that you got to be on point. We're talking about friendships, relationships, bonds. We got PNC. We're talking about losing people and remembering them, and we're talking about jail, but none of that is glorifying. And I walk around town with the pound strapped down, just in case I gotta smoke something. I'm not, you know, it's real where we live at. So we setting the blueprint because, for one, we honored to be here, and we got the guys before us gave us that blueprint. You know, the pioneers before us set it up. It's like we supposed to say something of importance. One of the greatest songs in hip hop is The Message. Right. Like, you could play that today and it says what it says. And now we're not gonna rap like that. We're not gonna be as maybe like prolifically like profound in the words themselves. We're gonna do some wordplay and have fun with it. But like, sometimes you hit or miss, man. We got so much songs. Like, we just doing the playlist just now, and I'm like, wow, we didn't put this on the playlist. We didn't do that with the playlist. They're like, holy snap. So we get to like kind of renew our vows every time we come out here and get together. And thankful to the people too, because like it keeps us sharp. It makes us want to take the challenge. Like, damn, are we hitting the mark? We kind of are. We might feel like not confident. It's like, all right, it's a good symbiosis.
Yeah, because even I remember in the first track on the All Tech, you were talking about making mistakes and doing the right thing, doing the wrong thing, and learning.
Yeah, it's like being a parent, man. Like, we couldn't, what we learned and showed our children, we learned in the fields because our parents wasn't taught certain things. Like, we wasn't, especially in my family, I wasn't taught how to invest money or learn about real estate or, you know, being smart with your, whatever it is you're doing in life. So it's like you're a parent and you're growing with your audience as well as what you're giving birth to. So, you know, plus we getting wiser, took us shahadas and everything, so there's a higher power in life that, you know, like they say, our gift from God is our life and breath, and our give back to him is what we do with that he gave us. So each album is definitely growth and progression.
And when did that kick in with, obviously, whatever your parents or your family or whatever gave you a foundation of sorts, but everybody really needs to build on that. When did that really register how and when and why you needed to do it for yourselves?
I think for me it was once I had my son, once it was more than me to worry about. You know, even though you have your family, but once you have a girlfriend that develops into your lifetime partner, your wife or whatever, you have a son now, there's more than just what it is. Now you have immediate responsibilities. You start thinking as a grown-up. It just doesn't come with age. You go through life be lifing. So when you're maturing with that, you learn it and you apply it to it. And sometimes it's supposed to make it easier and you learn how to maneuver with it, but sometimes every day it's a lesson learned.
To add on, I think it's a consistent gig. Like, you have a lifetime gig, you know, and that's you. You know, you have to make sure your stocks is up. That's you. Your investment is, all of this is right here.
CEO of your life.
So it's like, if once you stop doing that, you know, it becomes a struggle, of course, because you're trying to make it better. You're trying to get more proceeds. You're trying to get more, living fruitful and multiply. So it's consistent. Like, we never get too comfortable and celebrate too much in the end zone because we know we got to get on defense at any time. So yeah, we got to keep, and it feels fun that you are able to do it because, you know, some people put themselves out the game, you know. put themselves out the game. It's like we got to remember where we started. We started from jacking electricity, just so people could stop killing each other. Just like we need some fun. Let's jack this electricity and play some music, calm the savage beast, and get to it. Like what we trying to get to? We're trying to get to life. Like that's ultimately it's still love, peace, happiness, having fun, those type of things. Like even in the 12 Jewels, you know what I mean? It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You know, it's like the pursuit of life is what we here for, and hip hop allows us to have this type of conversation on an international scale. Like it's crazy. It's not no neighborhood thing. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
You know? And we all are a part of it. You know, from the people who create the words to the people that listen and tap in and make it valid, to certify to you guys who allow us the platform to certify a story. And then give it context, because sometimes it get missing in the music, and we just tag it and bag it, you know. It's like, wow, now the relevance comes to our conversation and being able to extend that, because especially when you're dealing with technology,
Right.
you know, we can't leave everything up to AI, man.
No.
But it's good to see you, man. This is real, man. You know what I'm saying?
We're
You
here.
kidding me?
We're
We be
here.
on the phone like, yo, what's good? How's it? Yo.
I think to your point, it's like when I saw you guys had the live album in Belgium, it made me think back to the.
No.
I mean, Prague. Excuse
yes.
me. Prague.
Big up
I got
Roddy
two
Mo.
names.
Word up.
The reason I'm thinking of all the European cities and countries is because the first album I remember live was the Boogie Down Productions live Hardcore Worldwide, which was recorded largely in Europe. It was London and France, if I remember correctly.
About that.
So when I saw your guys, I was like, oh, that's kind of a full circle that these live albums. And then Cypress Hill just performed with the London Symphony Orchestra in London. They did a whole show.
Oh, that's
So
tough.
that being said, I wanted you to get the mentality of being true to yourselves, but then also understanding and appreciating that you do have fans worldwide, and this is more than just where you're from and your streets or your block, that you are able to do these things internationally.
Yeah, well, it doesn't compromise us because we get to exchange notes. Like we go in and we learn in cultures. You are obviously interested in our culture, so we get to bring Bucktown. So when we say Bucktown is everywhere, it's not just us going, like we're not just rapping about it. We can sit here and talk about like, what is it like to be in Brooklyn? You know, we've been to different places where we've sat with people in the neighborhoods. We've communicated with guys through internet and things of that nature, DMs. But you know, not on a large scale, like we're not giving public speeches, but our public speech comes through our music, and then just having to have some type of humanity, man, because it's not just like this separation of rap to you know, and you guys just listen and buy everything that we say. Like it has to be something that you can feel. This is yours. Like rap raised us, so I can relate to Karis. That's one of my top guys, you know. Chuck D's one of my top guys. So being pioneers of that, it's like we got to fill in those blanks. It sounds natural. It feels natural, and it's almost like an obligation, like a responsibility, as a hip hop ambassador, so to speak, to make sure that connection is made. I think.
The other thing I want you guys to talk about on that level is, I think the thing that people really don't appreciate or understand is most of the artists that last a long time and most of the artists that have been the most popular, generally speaking, actually say something of substance. The people that make pop rap or commercial rap or whatever, they're the ones that fade. You guys weren't going double, triple platinum, but you're here 30 years later still making music, whereas a lot of those, as we see.
Keeps going.
But that's back to the infinity, but I think it's also back to the fact when you're actually making things that matter to people, it may not sell as much, but it's going to be consistent. And I think your guys' evolution, infinity, coming soon, speaks to
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, like you said, it comes natural, man. It's almost like, he said a mouthful. It's an obligation. Like when you love it, you don't want to see that child hurt. You don't want to see hip-hop be misused. Not knocking anybody that don't have longevity or one-hit wonders, but you want to have something that's going to last for a while. Like when we first came out, they was calling it timeless, the golden era, or classic music. Everybody uses a classic and a legend so loosely now that it's just like, well, he's a legend, she's a legend.
You the man.
Yeah, exactly. Pick one. So, you know what I mean? It's you have to say something. It's like putting the medicine in the good food. You know what I mean? And eventually they start coming around. After they party and get drunk and get high, they sit down and turn the radio off for a little bit, do their meditation, blow on some Smif-N-Wessun, and then that's how you balance your life out, 360.
We've been to places, man, home and abroad, where people have literally said, yo, you saved my life. And like, that's trippy, man, because all you doing is, you know, in retrospect, you rapping, right? I mean, you just boil it down to the bare bones, right? I'm rapping. And then like some people go, well, you know, I don't even rap, I just da-da-da. So it's like, wow, I can't understand that. Like, kind of, sort of, because it's fun and you can get attention from it, but we are attached to the people. And then we have
they're
this,
diminishing their value.
right? So it's crazy to me. So it's like, for us, like, we have these conversations with people, and if a person goes, yo, what you did with your brother saved my life, because I was on this path, and I was on, you know what I mean? Yo, lawyers, criminals, doctors, single fathers, single mothers. You know, it's like, okay, we've made that impact with Bucktown. Oh, that's incredible. You know what? We're part of that. Let's do that, because it feels good to be appreciated, because we did something to honor our hometown initially. We didn't think that, yo, the world's gonna love this kid. Yo, we're gonna go to Germany. We wasn't saying none of that when we was writing our little raps on The Shining. So like 30 years later to go, yo, we can still go say Bucktown, and people gonna be saying it with it. People that grew up with us from 30 years ago that got children now, they're gonna be bringing their 15-year-olds to the, like, you know, 5-year, 8, whatever, and we get to continuously build, and it's through hip hop. So like, once you become at that status, it's like, okay, there is no amount of money that can pay you for what you do.
Right.
You know, so everything else is like, it's earning. We're earning through, that's what being, to me, that's what being fruitful and multiplying, or living abundantly. Of course we want money, a lot of money, but it ain't gonna stop none of the struggle or none of the issues that we will have to deal in this wilderness.
Well, let me ask you this too, because for both of you, I think, still, especially talking to you more over the years, but I think if you just listen from The Shining up till today, up till the All, for instance, it seems as your careers have progressed, both solo and collaborative albums, it seems like there's also a greater sense of peace. The way that you rap vocally and your subject matter, and even some of the beats that you choose, I definitely don't think you would have picked in 94.
That's real. That's real. Nah, that's real. That's a great observation, man. Because I think, yeah, you nailed it. Ain't nothing to answer to that, because that's true.
Okay.
That's true. You could tell at certain points in our career it was tumultuous, man. You know, we went all the way to Sweden to do an album. We was locked in, like we was in. I don't even know I forgot what the name of this place was, but it was in the mountains. Okay. We was looking for turkey bacon. Dude was like, they'll make turkey bacon. Yeah. I'm like, yo, they never heard of turkey bacon. So we was like, oh my gosh, let's not gonna work. We can't go to the corner store. So we was out our element, but we was around cats like Tommy T and Ken Ring. Like, I was struggling to try to get weed, you know, and he was like, yo, he got this weed. He's like, don't smoke the weed, it has glass in it. Like, we was struggling, and you could hear that in the songs. You know what I mean? Like, we was having fun. I can't feel my face.
Cowboys.
We was wilding out there. So we, like, what the time has presented us with, is pretty much is what you're gonna hear at that particular time. You know, it's like hopefully we can encapsulate it all in this small project, but there's so much more that you guys might not get to see. But hopefully we got close to the mark, you know?
And it's ill that you recognize and mention that, because it's like finding Islam is submitting to Allah. So you're finding your peace with your maker in life and learning what it is. You eating healthier, or you're trying to. We be in spots, like you said, where they don't have certain food, but certain food's not even available to you back home. So you got to make do with it. And you can't be growing as an artist or as a human still in the same mind frame when you was 18 and 16, fresh out of high school, talking about whatever the case may be. When you reach 35, 40, and inshallah get to your 50s and 60s, you want to be talking about something of substance that you know you planting seeds for the next generations.
Right.
We got to keep it real for them out there, man. We used to go around with the boot camp clique, right? And one time in particular, we all stay in a hotel. That's a lot of guys, by the way. All right, it's a lot of mess. That's messy, man. Boot camp, I love y'all. We all messy, and we was young and we was having fun. And one person smoked in their room. One person smoked in their room. All of us got charged. Every room got hit with that bill. Like, I don't like that. Me personally, I don't smoke in my room no more. And I'm only saying that because that's just a little mustard seed of like, all right, we used to do that. Weed is illegal right now. I don't smoke in a room, and most hotels don't let you do that anyway. But we conscious enough to know that, all right, we grew. So yeah, we did change, and we allowed the change. Buckshot said, yo, change is good. I still believe that. We're gonna make the change into dollars. And then make the dollars into cents and spin it back 360 degrees back home. Make it all make work.
To your point too, with arm leg too, it's like the interconnectivity of life, of spirituality, but then it's speaking it into the music as well. Yeah. I think that's one of the renaissances that's underappreciated that's going on in rap right now, is that it's become, even though it might not be overt, it's become much more spiritual to the artists that are making it that way, not to the pop stuff. But I think you guys are doing a great example of that. Common is another great example of that. There's a lot of people that it's become more spiritual.
I think it's hard not to see it now. It was always spiritual because you got guys like DMX. You know what I mean? He's giving prayer. This is one of the hardest guys that's praying every show though. Every show, like, and guys had to sit through that. Def Jam. He's one of the hardest cats. And you got for us, of course, we grew up through this thing. We started with a PNC, but then you go that and you tack on 2-3 decades and calculate the loss. We've all witnessed so much loss indirectly in hip hop. We've never seen that in the beginning. In the beginning, everybody was alive. If one person got killed, we was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Now it's like bang, bing, bing. So seeing this loss, it does put you in touch a little bit more with like, oh snap, you know? Like, I'm here, right? What is my value being here? What's the value of a life? Because I just was with something. Look at every rap crew. They lost somebody. Yo, I'm bugging right now because all the rap crews that lost somebody.
Well, we just lost DJ
big.
Polo.
Are you kidding me?
Rest in peace.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because not only that, when you look at it, it's like when it hits home, like rest in peace, the bestie, my pops, brothers. They all happen so back to back that it is. You don't have time to grieve and almost, take in what you need to take in from one death because another one is instantly following. They all compiling back to back. So it's just like really, you live in what you live and you breathing it, putting the pain, like we like to call it in the studio, putting that pain out because we all go through it. And some, more than others. That's all, how you cope it.
It's beautiful to be able to how do you say, like present it, express it.
Release
like
it,
as a
express
release it. Like as a writer, you gotta know that. Like when you look at the book and you close the covers, you like.
But you gotta be dope about it. You can't be.
For those that haven't got it, man, you guys gotta pick up Steele's book.
Word up, by my own.
By
hands.
my own hands. It's poetry, lyrics. There's a lot of great stuff in here. Definitely pick up a copy if you haven't. And I think too, that's the other thing with you guys because Steele in particular, with your solo material. It seems a lot more political, for instance, at least to me. But when you come back to Smif-N-Wessun, you got books, you got all these different things. It seems too, as you guys individually and collectively have progressed as artists, it seems like there's also a sense of freedom, whereas I think initially it was a little more of a narrow scope artistically.
Yeah.
So what do you think has led to this opening? Creatively,
space, man. Like Tex said, like it's a surrendering. Like we've been struggling the whole journey. It's like there's no sense of beefing about the struggle. We know we're gonna grip up. We're gonna get on these planes. We're gonna get on these trains. We're gonna get in these automobiles, and we're gonna get to it. And then we look at each other in the eye, and we see, I'm looking at a strong person. And he looking at a strong person. I'm not gonna let him down. He's not gonna let me down. We have faith in our Creator, and it's like, so we could take the hits. I don't think there's no way to say it to make it easy, not for me, because it's like you're either gonna do it or you're gonna sit down. And that's not, for me, like life is not about that. I love to watch, but I love to be involved. And I think we've been writers. We've been, he's an engineer before he was a rapper. You know, he had engineer equipment in his basement. We went to his crib to make our first demo, but we was intimidated because we don't know how to do that stuff. After years, we learn these things and go like, wow, I made beats. I made a beat for Buckshot. That's crazy. That's trippy. Like, but I'm not gonna be talking about no producer credits. That's not my thing. Like, I also do film with my partner, Senegal Smith. You know what I mean? And it's like, I edit, but we just got our fingers in all things creative. Tech got a book coming too, so you're gonna be
I look forward to seeing
for that as well. You know what I mean? Not to mention acting credits. So anything that allows us to express, like I think that's healthy. And if it's healthy, you got to give thanks for that. Because other than that, like, I mean, we have other bad habits, and we can get into that, but I think that would be a whole nother show.
To that point, too, we're talking about all this growth and stuff. So, Tech, what's your book? You know, when should people be looking for it, and what's the focus?
Right now I'm in a fourth quarter of finish it up. I got to do a little proofreading of it, so I don't know actually when it's going to be released just yet. But it's really just a conversation piece. Something, you know, when you're in Starbucks or wherever you're at, it's just something to pick up and dig a little bit deeper into Tech, Smokey Lie, Elamina Dawn a little bit.
Okay. Well, look forward to that. And another thing, a common theme that we've been talking a lot about is lessons either learned or directly taught. So looking back, one of your guys' earliest collaborations is, of course, Havoc with You the Man. So looking back, do you remember seeing or noticing anything about what he did or what you saw, or were you around him when he
Havoc?
Yeah.
That's our brother, man. Like, we hang out with that guy. Like, I mean, like...
But I'm saying in the sense of when that song would have been made, you guys were more coming in the game and he was established...
Yeah, nah, I was super starstruck, but we kept it cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Him and Buck is like super tight.
Right.
Like all them short guys hang out together. Nah, it was just dope to be around them guys, man. And we also did a You the Man with Prodigy that never, you know, that wasn't resurfaced, but it was exciting, man. And then
we did the joint with Prodigy with what you call it too, Easy Mo.
Easy Mo B. Word. So a lot of these songs that we got, like we look back and go, wow.
Well, that's the thing that's amazing when you do have a 30-plus year career, that you're able to, wow, I made hundreds of songs, I've done dozens of albums, I've worked with all these people.
I was looking at new videos, none of them, they all on other people's records. It's like, wow, we got a new video out. But it's you know, it's refreshing a little bit because like people care, man. You know, it's like we're still able to do different stuff and still maintain who we are. It doesn't compromise Tech, and still when you hear the all is not like none of the other albums.
Right.
You know, and it's not like, you know, it's funny because at Ninth Wonder initially he's like, yo man, we need that Shine 2. We need that Soundboy. We ain't gonna be none of that. Don't get. We talk it out. We're gonna, if it happens, it happens. We're not gonna sit there and go channel that energy. Like, we gotta be free, or we're gonna mess it up. You know what I'm saying? We have these conversations like, yo, it's stuff I want to say, but I'm trying to figure out. It's like, all right, what's the conversation? Because the music is already speaking to you. When you walk in a room, you might not rap, but this music is gonna make you do something.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna be thinking about some stuff, like, you know. And salute the guys, like one of my top guys, Rakim, because one of the best rhymes ever.
He got a new album out too, right?
He got a new album, salute.
And he produced it too.
Oh, right, see? But that's another thing, because you know he was doing beats back then, so the growth is like, we get to see this. And he be DJing, yo. But I digress. This is the thing though, right? One of the best rhymes ever written is thinking of a master plan, because ain't nothing but sweat inside my hand, you know? So it's like, that anybody can say that. That's not even a rhyme. That's like a person walking outside or getting up in the morning. That's so natural, you know? So we want to bring that to the evolution of some of our rhymes is like making it a conversation, whereas this is coming from someone who just is not, you don't have to be a fan of rap per se. You don't listen to hip hop. We was hanging out with a brother yesterday. He was like, yo, I don't really listen to rap like that. But we friends though. Like he playing Bob Marley and Chronics and you know, reggae and stuff like that. But we can still have this conversation. Like you're gonna pop in Infinity and be like, oh nah, I like this stuff. Right. You know, so just breaking that barrier, building a bridge to like close that gap. Music is music. Don't categorize it.
And how, because obviously there is a lot of positive stuff, but I was always curious, now that you're way past it and everything, what did you think, looking back, the Smif-N-Wessun lawsuit and having to change your name and changing labels all at around the same time, what did you learn from that, and how did that change how you guys operated, especially business-wise?
I think it showed us and taught us how to maneuver more than anything, and how you word what it is that you're dealing with. Because as MCs and conversationalist people, that's all we do is we deal with words. Not saying all we do is talk, but when you have something to the masses and then it's something else coming in saying, oh, you confusing our consumers, is a total difference between eggs and oranges. You can't. I'm helping the consumer get to where they need to be. You doing what you're doing over there. So I think it taught us how to be mindful of our business and how to maneuver around the pieces on the chessboard a little bit more. But it was both a gift and a curse, because it brought us new fans from Cocoa Brothers too as well. We put out a dope album with that, and it's like meshing the two.
Yeah, at the time it was crazy for us, because trying to figure it out, how to shift and adjust. But it definitely taught us to be, I won't say cautious, you know, because it's like, okay, all we had was us. Like we didn't have nobody to get on the ground and go, you know what, let's fight this. It's like, all right, while we fighting other fights, I don't think this is a fight that we can deal with right now. So we got to pick our fights. It taught us to be cautious in picking our fights. And to this day, like we have to be mindful of that. So we got decent relationships. I could say good relationships. So we're able to go to a LA, we're able to go to Denver, we're able to go to Toronto or Quebec, and overseas as well, and chill out in the neighborhood. And that's important to us. And it goes for our business as well. Like we have relationships throughout the years. We didn't go and burning bridges, and so it goes with the music, it goes with the business, it goes with the things that we release. It's important to us. So with longevity, everything, that's like you know, I don't feel comfortable no other way, man. It's like if we got beef, which we don't, like we clean it up. Like we get to it. We got work. We out here trying to live and have fun and enjoy this shit, man. Like it's dope. Hip hop. We in LA. We just was in Brooklyn yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We in LA. It was nice in Brooklyn, and it's nicer in LA. Like there's no comparison. It's just an addition or an addendum. We gotta peep that. Check those boxes, man. All right.
Because that's part of why I'm curious, is because I've noticed sometimes when people are faced with obstacles, and I would say a lawsuit, even the Super Mario later for Super Brooklyn, is another thing that people sometimes get so caught up, or they dwell on it.
Of course.
They dwell on it and they can't move past it.
Biggie had to change his joint. Nas had to change his. They look at them. Look at their legacy. Big is not here, but he's here with us. He's here with us for the rest of our lives, and then he's here after that. So he's here for infinity. You know what I mean? He's embedded. And Nas is in the colleges, and Pac is in the Vatican and in colleges. We want to be in the Vatican and the colleges. We want some of our scrolls to be studied. You know, we want to be used, because some of these, we got the gangster prayer, we got a hustler's prayer. We could put those in the churches. We could put some of these in the schools. We could teach some of the babies. They don't want to, ABCs, they skipping past that. You know, they're going from ABCs, the SATs, the ABGs, the EBK. They going all through that. And they formulating their own dialogue and own dialect, but it all comes from the source. Right. So through music, we can exchange notes. You know, whether we really know how to bop to it yet, we'll find a way. Yeah, wow. I ain't gonna shoot on none of these. I ain't gonna crap on none of those things. I'm gonna learn about it. That's what we learn, how to pick our fights. I don't have to tell the young blood, yo man, don't do that. I'm gonna ask them, why you do that, or how do you feel that benefits you, and is that something that you truly want to do? You know, brother said, he said, I want to get a deal. I said, okay, that's easy. But what do you want?
Right.
You know, nobody asked us that when we signed our deal. Nobody was there. The lawyer that we had was the same lawyer the label had.
Yeah.
So we
You
didn't
talking
have,
about Nervous Wreck or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't have no big
It was
homies
already
going,
a
yo.
conflict of interest.
I was about to say that's the definition of
That's
conflict.
a definite. We crossed the line. So what we did, we like this.
Right.
Yeah.
And what helped
boom.
us, our brother, Kenneth Montgomery,
Word.
who see is coming from places we come from. You got to wear a lot of hats, man, and different masks, and everybody can't be playing in the street or on the sidewalk. We need the brothers that's gonna be in school getting their lawyer degrees, their doctor degrees, and that's what helped us to keep those relationships going. So he's like the top in his field right now out there, getting brothers free who deserve it, and you know he's moving and shaking.
Yeah. Brooklyn Combine. Salute to the Brooklyn Combine. Shung P. Phillip. Shung. Mally X. Guys doing a lot of work in the community. So we have different support teams that we see doing things. And it's interesting that you mentioned the Havoc because that's one of them too. You know what I mean? Raekwon, that's another brother. These brothers be sitting down eating food together. They don't just be like, let's get together in the studio and do a song. Like at some point it's like, wow, bro, I've known you guys for like, you know what I mean? Like really, like we rubbing elbows and we meeting people's family. I know you, I watched your child grow up. You know, I know this guy's daughter, and when we see her now, he's gone, but we see her daughter and we treat her like royalty when we see her in the spot. So it's like, we have to honor that, and we have to show all of the rappers, the artists that's coming into the game that that's important, or you won't be here. That's what we talking about. Your raps could be dope, it could be a one hit, all that. You could have a lot of stacks and stacks and stacks, but that could go like that. You could be Pearlman, you know what I mean? Buried with no tombstone. Don't say nothing on it. But if that's what you want, like you gotta step away. You gotta go over there with that. You know what I mean? This is different.
It is full circle in the sense of the Ninth Wonder doing so much stuff with the label just totally back, you know, now 20-some years ago. Or so with that, how have you noticed the relationship with Ninth and his crew and the people around him has evolved since the early 2000s when you guys were?
These guys is grown, man. They mad. His first of all, Ninth got he got 13 job money. This guy is doing, I don't know how he do it, man.
Basketball coach.
Word, I don't know how he be doing it.
Sneaker maker,
there must be like
designer.
3 of him, man. He got 2 clones, man. He's a triplet.
The thing is, everybody make their circle tighter, man. You get rid of the waste, like cut the fat off steak. You don't deal with it. If it ain't bringing you like peace or what you trying to build, you gotta get the fuck up out of there.
Ninth is one of those stand-up guys who stick to his standards. And he always had affinity for Beatminerz and the guy, certain producers that he rock with. The first time we met him, I didn't know nothing about him, the guy. So he was already rocking with Sean Price. Sean Price and Buckshot brought us into that relationship. We went down there. I was drinking with Scud. Like I was drinking, I was drinking with Scudder.
Oh, man.
I wasn't even in the room with those guys. I wasn't even trying to be around them. I'm like, I'm not impressed by that really. I'm like the rap, whatever. Sean is in the writing, doing his thing. He ain't here to play no games. But Crisis was always there, you know. Crisis was there day uno. You know, me and Crisis was going to the Chinese restaurant together while these guys smoking outside. And then you start seeing Cash, you know, and then you start seeing E. Jones. And you see Eric, and then you see, you know, the latest
Soundtracks.
Oh, soundtracks,
Knots.
Lord of Mercy. So you see him now starting to, as you say, tighten the circle, take it more serious. Because as he got all these hats, it's a lot of talent around him, and he utilizing it. And it's beautiful. When you go there, it's no egos. It's crazy because that's how we did our last album. Like, we be in there listening to beats, and sometimes some of the guys will come in there and listen to beats, and they'll rock, you know. And then you'll walk past, go to the bathroom, then you hear another guy playing some beats. You be like, yo. You stick your hand up, yo, I need that beat. Yo, I need to bring that over here in this room over here. So we setting up shop and everybody's open. It's a beautiful. It's competitive because there's so much to choose from, but it's no egos, and we're able like Knife is cool. It's like we picked a beat from soundtracks. Knife had went on something. He just came back and was like, yo, what's that? That's tracks? He ran out. He like, oh yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there. Let me hit. Move over. Let me get that. Like,
stay chiseled, still sharp and still.
Yeah. So knowing he the top guy, he still has respect and love for what his guys, his counterparts bring to the table. He treats them as equals, and it's dope to watch. You know, it's dope to be a part of, man. Yeah, so that's what we need, because that's what we felt when we came into the game. It was cool to record at D&D. Even though it was hectic, it was mad crews in there. But we didn't care. We was deep in there. It's like we was able to go into our room and do what we needed to do. Take a break, go play pool with Guru and them and Biggie in the other room.
Get your blunts out there.
You know what I'm saying? Smoke a spliff with Premier. You know, he held the B room. Nobody using that B room but Premier. That's his house.
The vending machine blunts.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just an experience. It's like, okay. And then when we go overseas, it's like some of these guys be adopting that. They wasn't there, but it's like you feel this is what a studio needs to have. You know, we could get past the smoking part. Or I love to, whatever. I love to do what I do. But
I got a natural eye, smoky lie.
You see that? we ambidextrous with it, man. We can exist. There's no rewards without sacrifice.
Okay.
So I mean, we understand that, and we took a lot of losses, and we're responsible for keeping them alive.
And then with tying this all into infinity, what is a song or two that you can speak on that you know for sure is going to be on there that's directly related to a lot of what we've been talking about?
Infinity.
Title track.
Okay.
Infinity.
And in what ways? What are you guys saying on there?
Original man, the maker, owner, creator, alpha, omega. It's in our nature. We out for the paper. Experience trials and tribulations, street confrontation, negotiation with agents of Satan. Put my faith in the Most High before I hit the pavement. 10 toes, we outside with the killers and vagrants. PNC, the bond sacred. From the books, Brownsville, the Brevoort project with Bowen Cook. Became a crook in adolescent project development. Got arrested at 15, Sparfit development. Street lessons breeding expensive taste. We pay the price each choice make, give God thanks.
Ow.
Some ain't survive, we pour out liquor to honor soldiers. Battle addictions, but in the end we all die sober. Mic therapy, our specialty. Manifest our destiny. This is infinity. This is what you're gonna get. This is gonna be us reaching into the soul.
I think it chronicles the journey we had, man.
Yeah.
Growing up in the game, outside of the game, life lessons.
Very minimal features, but the features that you're gonna hear are gonna be so dynamic to you. Like, name an album right now where you can focus on the artists themselves. You know, every artist's top song got 13 people on it. Like, I'm losing, whose song is this right now? You know what I mean? Right. When you listen to a Smif-N-Wessun song, you're gonna hear Smif-N-Wessun, you're gonna hear Tech and Still, Tacoma and Darryl traveling through the lands. And then when you hear the feature, it's gonna be like, oh snap.
It makes sense.
Wow, and you did that, how you got that? How you reach into the atmosphere or iosphere and get that? Thank you, spin that back. And just enough. You know, not trying to go pop, 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 beat you upside the head. I know it's important because we fans of this. We still like how Cam said about Nas. Nas got love for hip hop. Yeah. You know, it's great to make that journey.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So Smif-N-Wessun got love for hip hop, and we got love for the fans that pay their money to come to the shows and be like, yo, that's my joint. Word. Yo, do. We love all of that drama, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, next show we got to do these things. So it's refreshing, because when you're not important anymore, that's a different type of energy. You know what I mean? Especially after being in the game.
Man.
You wouldn't be able to do a huge tour.
Nah, not these many dates. You ain't making this up either.
You know
this ain't the Chitlin circuit.
What's crazy about that, you see a lot of tours getting canceled today.
Yeah.
It's like ticket sales is not what it used to be. Album sales not what it used to be. Streaming ain't what it used to be. So you got to stay evolving and stay relevant, finding that new way.
We came in loving it. I don't want to go out hating it. You know, it don't make no sense. You got to spin it back. Like, we going to make it greater. The love got to be greater.
So that's an interesting situation. It's a conundrum, I think, because on the one hand, including myself as a writer, as a fan, getting into it, I just loved it. I wasn't getting paid. I didn't know anybody that was getting paid. I didn't have a family member getting paid. I was in Maryland. I didn't know anything.
Right.
But I was fortunate and worked hard and did all these things and able to make a career out of it. But when I get frustrated, I'm like, oh man, this stinks or whatever.
Yeah.
So for you guys, how do you balance that realization of, as frustrated as you might get, or you were expecting this to be a bigger stream or a bigger whatever it is, how do you balance that expectation versus the reality of you have succeeded and you are doing this? Like, how do you navigate that mentally?
You need some of these.
Okay.
You definitely need some
Stress
of these.
relief?
Though. Yeah.
Work out, you meditate, pray, stay grounded with your support team. And you don't get caught up. I know it's hard, but you got to find a balance, man. It's definitely crazy.
There is no secret formula, you know. And we could say some cool stuff to go, yeah, you should try it and try and try it. Like, we're still on that journey. Because it's stressful, man. Getting here was stressful, man. Like, I think I quit before we got here. Like, I was like, yo, see, I knew it, it's not gonna work. But it's like, you know, before we left, I said, man, it ain't gonna feel good till we touch the ground, till we get that first show out. And that's when reality kicks in. Because everything else is the before show nervous jitters. It's like, all right, is it really gonna happen? Yes, it's real. It's like everything that you're excited about. Even like my homie, yo, big up to my man Cook and Carol, he just got married. He said,
big up.
Not to put your business out on the street, OG, but he's like, yo, ST, I cried a few tears, ST. I'm like, of course. This is a great time. This is a great time. This is a big step in your life. You know, to assume that responsibility, to surrender to now you are a part of this whole spectrum. It's no more, nah, it ain't got nothing to do with me. You can play that role if you want. But shit, don't forget your love, man. You know, that's why I say, love never let love die.
Good support team.
You know? And shit, look at the great things. You on, I got a couple of your books in the spot. You know, so I get to talk about I know a friend that write books. Well, I got a couple of good guys who put out some books. Yeah. You know, salute to Talib too, because he's another guy. Like, we need to get some nice bookstores. I like tangible things. You know, one of my friends said, yo, nobody reads anymore. That's not true. And if it is right now, that's temporary. We're gonna change the narrative. I like to have tangible things. I think when we got into, the technology explosion, we forgot about holding on to a record or a CD and reading the credits. So we have to give credit for those things that allowed us time to sit with an artist project or product and fall in love with it, you know? So that's something that we might revisit when we put out Infinity. You might have the lyrics written out for you to put it into more deeper context. And if not on the project itself, that's somewhere we will make it available, whether on our website, Smif-N-Wessun. Maybe we'll do that. So you have to come to see us. Come directly to the horse's mouth. It's written, documented by us. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can always talk to us about it. I think the hands-on, we used to do that too, right?
Absolutely.
Hands-on, the artist,
Absolutely.
man, you gotta give the artist, you gotta give the people an opportunity to fall in love with the artist once again. You know, and if it's missing that, that's why your ticket sales are low. You know, don't just frisbee an album out there and go, yo, go get my stuff, buy my chicken. It's good. Yeah, make me want to slap your mama.
Everybody got to play their part, man.
Yeah, man. Make me love it, man. Make me walk into the store, man. You know, I heard what you said. I heard how they promote it. But it's good to have a catalog that speaks for it. And it's also good to have, relationships that goes, nah, when you forgot, maybe somebody was like, nah, I know. Maybe it was just a bad day. You need to go over there and talk to them. Then you're going to get sparked right there. That muscle memory going to kick in. You'll be like, nah, I'm a great writer. I want to be like that.